everyone. So yesterday we learned what Maggie did on Wednesday the 3rd of September, and she's been to see Una. She's given her some scones that she was given by Elsie Weatherall, and she's also stolen some antibiotics from Elsie to give to Una, and Una's dad's getting quite poorly now. Yesterday we read 2 chapters. Today we're going to read 2 chapters as well, because chapter 12 is quite a short one. And also today marks the day of Thursday the 4th of September for Maggie. So even though we've read quite a lot already together, we are still only on, we've still only read about 3 days of what Maggie's done so far. So chapter 12. Maggie. Mum's voice reached into my sleep. Maggie? I opened itchy, smudgy eyes. You awake, Maggie? She called from the landing. Better get up or you'll be late for school. School. I had to sit through a whole another day of school before I could take Una's food to the cemetery. I pulled the covers back over my head. You'll be pleased to hear that Lindy Chowdhury is well enough to be with us this morning. Miss Conter blinked like she wasn't properly awake yet. But we only have her until lunchtime. Dr. Sunita wants her to get plenty of rest, what with her going to camp this Saturday. Isn't that right, Lindy? Yes, Miss Conter. Lindy sat up all prim. She had a dotted pink scarf wrapped around her head, tied neat at the nape of her neck. She'd have been as tidy and proper as always if it weren't for that dark purple hoops around her eyes. She looked like the Parker brothers after too much home brew and a midnight brawling. I've been hearing a little more about Lindy's accident. Miss Conter stifled her third yawn of the day. We'd only been in for 15 minutes. It seems, she carried on, that Jed Cruz, another of our eldest, bravely administered first aid and was constantly at Lindy's side until help arrived, showing us again how valuable all our eldest are. Bravely administered first aid? It was Trig who remembered the first aid, all of it, and help wouldn't have arrived if I hadn't run all that way to get it. Well done, Jed, Miss Conter went on. And congratulations on your speedy recovery, Lindy. I'm sure only an eldest would have the capacity to heal so quickly. I hope my little Michael will grow up just the same. Lindy tilted her head towards Jed. His cheeks reddened. No point in saying anything. No point in saying anything at all. No one listened. Not yet, anyway. Not till I was a hero, which is what I was going to be, as soon as I caught a wanderer. Which I definitely was going to do, once her dad got better. Soon as I'd caught Una. And then everybody started listening. Now, Class 4, I'm sure I can rely on you to be very careful around Lindy this morning. No pushing or shoving, and if she shows any signs of being ill, please let me know immediately. At break time, everyone wanted to hang around Lindy. Can I see your stitches? Did Dr. Sunita save you? Did Jed give you the kiss of life? Jed kissed you? Did you actually die and come back to life? Ugh! Did you wake up with Jed's mouth all over you? Ugh! I nearly died. Lindy looked at all of them from under her dark eyelashes. Jed saved me. In fact, if it wasn't for him knowing all that first aid, I probably would have died for sure. She swirled a piece of hair that had escaped from under her headscarf. Trig started jogging on the spot, which is what Dad told him to do when he starts feeling panicky. Jed opened his mouth like he was going to say something, then closed it again. Come on, Trig, he said, catching my eye. We both took one of Trig's arms and led him off to the other side of the playground. We sat down on the hot tarmac. I pulled at the chickweed growing up in between the cracks. It's good that Lindy's all right, isn't it? Said Trig, legs still jittery. Yeah. Jed wiped his nose on the back of his hand. Yeah, I said. It was me who remembered all the first aid, wasn't it? Wasn't it, Jed? Wasn't it, Maggie? Yeah, it was you. Of course it was. I pulled more chickweed. How long did it take to pull all the chickweed in the whole playground? A day? A week? Jed brushed his hands over the ground, picked up a stone. Did you hear what Beth Goodman said yesterday at break time? Said Trig. Did you hear, Maggie? Did you hear, Jed? He picked at his top lip. She said Mayor Anderson forgot to do her blackouts the other night, said her mum had to go round and knock on the mayor's door to remind her. And Beth said her mum said if Mayor Anderson keeps forgetting, we're all going to get blown to smithereens in the middle of the night, and it'll all be the mayor's fault. Do you think she'll forget again? Do you think we'll end up in smithereens? What are smithereens, Jed? Maggie? Stop fretting, Trig. Jed flicked his stone across the crumbling tarmac. I'm sure she won't forget again. He flicked a second stone. Trig found a piece of broken tarmac and flicked that. Didn't go as far as Jed's. The two of them dropped onto their stomach and had a flicking contest. I looked out southwards, beyond the cemetery, beyond the boundary. Trees and hills and bushes, sizzling in the sun. Somewhere, hidden away, there was a barn, with Una and her sick dad in. Unless she was lying, of course, which she could be. But I didn't think she was. Only 4.5 hours of school left. Only 4.5 hours till I see her again. We're home! We're home! Could Trig never do anything quietly? I'd planned to creep upstairs, grab the bag of food from my drawer and get over to the cemetery before Dad even realised I was back. Not much chance of that now. Am I pleased to see you lot? Dad stuck his head round the kitchen door. There's so much to do, not least the laundry. It's got to be done tonight, Maggie, party or no party. I sighed. Thursday afternoon, our time slot at the laundry. I'd completely forgotten. It'd be another hour and a half at least until I got to the cemetery. Trig, go with Mags, will you, and don't leave it all to her. Me and Trig got changed out of our uniforms and heaved all the dirty washing onto the handcart. At least it was sunny. At least it'd dry all right. Chapter 13. We're still on Thursday. Hello, Maggie. It's not often I see anyone up here in the cemetery on a Thursday evening. Mr. Weatherall, what was he doing here? He walked towards me, stick in one hand and a pair of shears in the other. Strong foot, weak foot, strong foot, weak foot. Hello, Mr. Weatherall. I threw a sideways look at the hawthorn. Was Una there? Had he seen her? I just like to come up here sometimes to see the butterflies. The butterflies? He lifted an eyebrow. Wouldn't you better go into the butterfly fields? Yep. Oh, if butterflies was what I was really looking for. Well, he said, I'm sure you get plenty of butterflies over here too. Lots of stinging nettles round the old church. And as Mother says, where there's stinging nettles, there's catterbugs. I glanced behind the tree. Stay hidden, Una, if you're there. Stay hidden. I've been trimming the graves, Mr. Weatherall. Held up the shears. The graves? I looked at William Whittington and Georgina Millicent Cruz. They seemed as overgrown as ever. My family, they're at the back of the church. The Weatherall graves, of course, neat and tidy and tended. Oh, I said yes. Well, I'd better be off. You enjoy your butterflies. Look, there's one now. A cabbage white fluttered up from the long grass. Goodbye, Maggie. Bye, Mr. Weatherall. I ran behind the tree and slid down beside it until my heart stopped galloping. Hey, that loud whisper. Una. Is he gone? She climbed out from the hawthorn. She had a proper grin on her face this evening, gappy and huge and purple? Blackberries. I'm sorry it's got so late, Una. I couldn't get away. I had to do the... Never mind. You'll never guess what. This is the best day ever. It's my dad. Those antibiotics are making him better already, after only one day. You saved his life, Maggie. You saved his life. She grabbed me with purple-stained fingers and swung me round. The bag of food flew round with us. Shh, I laughed. Shh, people'll hear us. And guess what else I found, she said. A blackberry bush. She stopped swinging. How did you know? I grabbed her purple hands and turned them palms up. You're covered in them. Una's laugh was the funniest thing ever. Snorty and Honky both at the same time. It made me laugh too, just hearing it. Oh, Maggie, you've got to come and meet my dad. Come and see for yourself. He's talking and making sense and everything. He's going to be all right, and it's all down to you. Come with me and see him. She pulled me over towards the hawthorn. I pulled back. I can't, I said. It won't take long. We're not so far away. No, it's not that. It's the boundary. I can't go beyond the boundary. The boundary? The hedge. We both looked at the hawthorn. You mean you're not meant to go past it? She said. Course I'm not. No one is. I haven't been to a town with a boundary before. Boundary. She said the word slowly, like it was a new one she'd just learned. There's no one around, though, is there? Who's to know? I'd know. Even if no one saw me, even if I didn't get caught, it'd be there in my head and it'd never go away. It was bad enough stealing antibiotics. Going past a boundary was way worse. And so, what if anyone does know? She said. It's not exactly murder, is it? Come on. She pulled at my arm. I pulled back. Frederick Paris got locked up for going outside the Leap Cross boundary. Locked up? That's what Lindy said. He got caught and locked up for years and years and years, and when he came out he never spoke again. Not a word. He just reads his books now and helps out at the dairy sometimes. Never says a word. They locked him up just for going out of town. Going past a boundary is dangerous, puts the whole of Fenniswick at risk. There are wanderers out there. I mean, there are dangerous people out there. Oh, shut up, Maggie, shut up. Una grinned a purple smile. You mean dangerous people, like me? No, I didn't mean that. Weird, isn't it? How you think that there are dangerous people outside your town, but we think there are dangerous people inside it. It was kind of weird now she put it like that. The bag handle was pressing into the soft bit of my fingers. I pulled it up onto my shoulder. Una frowned at the hawthorn. My dad told me not to get too close to your town. It's an unknown quantity, that's what he said, but he never mentioned anything about boundaries. So how do you know this particular hedge is a boundary? Just looks like any other old hedge to me. Any old hedge? Was she joking? I mean, how do you tell the difference between a boundary hedge and an ordinary one? Well, it's all in the song, isn't it? I said. The song? You know, the boundary song. The boundary song? You don't know about the boundary song? She stared at me. Are you spinning me up? I said. It's the first song anyone ever learned. Devi Chowdhury was singing it before he could crawl. He was a late crawler, mind. Well, good for Devi Chowdhury. I'm not spinning you up. I don't know it. I'm not from round here. I never learned it. Suppose she's right. You wouldn't know it, would you? Not if you hadn't grown up here. Oh, sing it for me, Maggie. Go on. Sing it. On my own. I was going to look like a proper la-la singing the boundary song on my own out here in the cemetery. Yeah, go on. I want to hear it. Please. She was serious. She really did want to hear it. Well, okay, it goes like this. I took a deep breath. Hello there, dear partner. How are you this morning? But Una was grinning now, and I fell into giggles. Don't stop, said Una. I know the tune. It's the same as the Ash Grove. Grandad used to sing it to me. Down yonder green valley where the streamlets meander. She sang the words. See, it's the same. Don't stop, Maggie. All right, I'll try again. I swallowed. Hello there, dear partner. Hold on. Do you want me to do the actions too? There are actions. Of course I want the actions. Okay. You'll have to be my partner, so you stand there. I dropped the bag of food into the grass, got hold of Una's shoulders and positioned her in front of me. You have to imagine there are loads of us and we're making 2 circles, one inside the other. Oh, it'll all make sense in a minute. It will? Una stood with her hands by her side, all straight and upright and awkward. I fell into giggles all over again. How could she not know this? Sing me the song. Okay. So the first thing we do is bow like this. Hello there, dear partner. How are you this morning? Then we shake hands. We'll sing all the boundaries, shake hands, then move on. All right. Una blew on her hands and rubbed them together like she was going for a tricky catch. Let's do that again. I've got it. We bowed and shook hands all over again. Then we went through the whole song with the actions. Hello there, dear partner. How are you this morning? We'll all sing the boundaries, shake hands, then move on. The edge of the marsh is right up to the river. The mill and the wheat fields will keep you in line. We've splodged our feet in imaginary marshes and waved our fingers like the wheat. Along Conker Alley and down into Leap Cross, then follow the hawthorn along past the church. We did the leap and triangled our arms into the church shape. The fence passing Southview and leading to Disdale, then keeping the crescent, and all will be well. We held our hands to our foreheads to shield out the Southview sun. We drew the crescent in the air. I thank you, dear partner, for sharing the boundaries, but now I must leave you and wish you good day. We shook hands and stepped to the side to meet our new partner, who wasn't really there. Actually there, because there were only two of us. We did again and again. Una kept doing a church shape when she should have been shielding out the sun, and wiggling her fingers when she should have been splodging her feet. I laughed so much I got a stitch in my side. Stop! Stop! It hurts too much. Bring your knee up. What? Bring your knee up like this. It'll make your stitch go away. She stood on one leg and pulled her knee to her chest. It's a proven cure. Works every time. She hopped around on her one leg. I pulled up my knee and fell over. Una snorted and honked and fell over too. We lay on the grass and looked up at the sky. Clouds, light as cobwebs, strung in the blue. What's it like being a wanderer? I said. What's it like? It's just normal. It's all I've ever been. There aren't any boundaries. The clouds drifted, slowly, slowly. What's it like living in your town? She said. It's all right. There are boundaries for sure. Plenty, but they're to keep us safe, aren't they? No one starves if they can't hunt, and everyone's got a proper house to live in. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The crickets were out. The sun was hot on my face. You could just poke your head and shoulders through, said Una. Poke my head and shoulders through what? Through the hawthorn. Just my head and shoulders? Yeah, that's not the same as going beyond it, is it? She was right. That wasn't the same as going beyond the boundary. Going beyond it. It wasn't the same at all. The hedge didn't seem like a hedge anymore. It seemed like a brick wall. I can't, Una. I can't do it. Sure you can. It's as easy as anything. It's just the same on that side as it is here. I looked back towards Fenniswick. No one could see this far. Mr. Gebby's hammer rang out a few clanks. Una pulled back some spiky branches. There was the brighter, fresher grass. It's easy, look. She stuck her head through, then pulled it back out. Your turn. My mouth was dry. I clenched my fists. I pushed through the brick wall. Hands, head, neck, shoulders. The hawthorn clung to my arms to keep me from leaving. It clawed at my skin. I was there, on the other side of the boundary. Sort of. The air smelled of grass and red apples. I breathed it in. It slithered down my throat, a swirl of outside drawn into my lungs. I looked around for the apple trees, but there weren't any. See, said Una, it's just the same. I took another breath. My head swooped with the green and the red and the brightness and the freshness. I pulled it back into Fenniswick and collapsed on the ground, heart thudding. No, it's not, I laughed. It's completely different. Una honked and snorted. My head began to steady. Una, I sat on the grass in front of her. The sun was sinking behind the hawthorn. Yeah? What about your mum? Is your mum in the barn too? She stopped laughing. No, she said. She died when I was little. She died. Oh, I'm sorry, It's all right, it was a long time ago. She looked right at me, but her eyes weren't really focused properly. She was picturing something else, or someone else, most likely, and I'd gone see-through. Did she get sick? I said. No, she got too close to an unfriendly town. An unfriendly town? Some towns are friendly. They'll trade with us, give my dad a bit of work sometimes. Others just don't like wanderers at all, even now. Una's eyes stayed unfocused. We hadn't eaten in a while, Dad says. She crept off while we were sleeping to find some food. She knew he'd never let her go if he was awake. What happened? Una shrugged. She never came back, that's all. I'm sorry, I didn't. Don't apologise. It wasn't your fault. Her jaw hardened. The thing is, you have to be careful when you're a wanderer, and she wasn't careful enough. I picked at the grass. Do you remember much about her? Una shrugged again. Don't remember what she looked like, or what she sounded like, or anything. She's just a sort of shadow, picking me up, setting me down, shooing a fox from me once, I think I remember it. Or maybe I just heard about it from Grandad. Anyway, she smiled a little. It's fine. We're okay, me and my dad. We're fine, especially with you helping us now. I smiled back. Hey, she grabbed my hand and pulled me up. Will you come again tomorrow, Maggie? Please come. Tomorrow, 5th of September, Jed's birthday, and still a million things to do for the party. No way Mum was going to let me get away. Can't come tomorrow, but I'll come Saturday, and Sunday too for your birthday. My birthday! I nearly forgot. My first proper birthday. I'll bring cake, I promised. So that's a long video today, isn't it? So that's the end of chapter 13. And tomorrow is Friday, the 5th of September in Maggie's world. And so that's going to be Jed's birthday. So she's managed to give Una some antibiotics and she's fed her. And she's telling herself that she's doing it to capture Una, but she'll wait until her dad's better. Because she wants to be Maggie Midler, the Wanderer Catcher. She wants to be the hero of the town. So tune in tomorrow to see what happens next.